432. No, 32. What is that? 3.
That's what I said. It's our 1:30 heckler, and he's 2 minutes late. Where the hell have you been? You're not getting paid.
That's what it is. 4343. Just keep reading 4343. You'll get it eventually. When I didn't answer, she would go 43.
Really? You're gonna masturbate the repeater? Come on, man. Jesus Christ, dude. W4THM.
Hey, I'm keeping it cool, man.
It's funny when you don't let the repeater ID. Okay, I'll stop. La doctora Apolo.
Oye, empezado, papador de pinga, ¿qué es esto, tú?
Donnie Ed, really? You gotta work at this time?
Here's one thing. In the old pager days, if you sent the message 434343, you know you did something fucking wrong.
Four, three, not found.
Solo tortillero, como está rolito ahí.
I feel sorry for the people in the old days where it was voice paging and the wives would get on it.
A esta hora, como están los maricones aquí en Hialeah.
Hey, Colonel, I don't know this joking. Shit, you gonna go on 672 and he has even available?
Over.
I didn't know Sergio left the DTMF interface on the machine.
One, off.
Voice activation on his repeaters. What?
See if I can activate it again. Hold up.
2, 3, 4, 5, not found.
That's pretty funny because this Cat 300 controller, DX 300 controller I got, it's got that what do you call it? I can't think of it now. The damn speak and spell sound. It's pretty cool.
Try one more. Oh well.
smoke zone.
I still want to know what the hell Daniel is doing up at this hour.
Danielito who? Danielito?
Yeah, man, that was Danielito.
Oh, go to sleep.
God, you don't know how many times I've heard that.
I'm amazed there's less people on tonight. Last night, there's a lot more people.
I don't know. Blame it on the rain.
They disconnected their coax.
KJ4QYD.
KN4ERJ.
W4THM.
I'm just trying to be legal activities that happened in the past.
We got incoming.
Uh-oh.
What's incoming?
I don't know, man. There's somebody in there with a weak signal trying to get in.
Oh. I gotta wake up at 9 tomorrow. Great.
My buddy just sends me a fake ad. Says, if you or a loved one died recently from injecting disinfectant, please contact the law firm or you're a moron and deserve it.
Funny, I got a lot of likes on where we should have back to Tide Pod cereal. We would have been all better off.
Hey, whatever. Natural selection. It actually works.
The truth of the matter is just don't breathe anymore.
Well, then there was somebody spreading rumors that you could get it through farts.
Yeah, it's been going around for a while.
Well, if that was the case, it makes sense why everyone's wearing masks.
No, my neighbors suffer.
Hey, Robert, I got you a little care package here in the corner of my house. So whenever you want to run around the area, just let me know.
Coño! Hey, how hard would it be to blow out this, the 2500, to get it back up and, because it's locked into, trunking, and I can't do anything conventional or whatever, because it's not even existing in that thing.
What was the first part? You broke up.
The 2500. How hard is it to get it back to where I can actually use it as radio? Because right now it's stuck in trunking from, New York's DOT.
Oh, it's not that hard. It'll probably take me about 30, 40 minutes to tinker with it, but it's not that hard. You just, tell me a day when to swing by, and I'll swing by.
All right, yeah, I've been working on my room here, so getting it so that, I can have customers, Customers and civilians.
Yeah, man. Just let me know when you're good to go. And as long as I can trust that you don't got COVID, we'll be fine.
All the luxurious things open for it, you know?
You better watch out, Brian. Mikey likes skinny young boys.
That's a Brian bought me the first dinner.
Bro, I swear, it was 5 seconds. I went to the window to get something. I looked back, and that sandwich was gone. I'm telling you, like, I got it. I put it on the table. I went back to get something, and it was gone. Just obliterated.
Hey, man, Gringo don't play, man. You know what? That sounds like a good album. Gringo and Play.
Are you kidding? You know, I went with Mikey to Chick-fil-A, and they established a cook line just for him.
Hey, but Chick-fil-A is pretty good.
Yeah, it's only good when everybody gets their food.
That and Wawa.
You know, a Wawa Italian sub with the bun toasted is some good shit, man. Really.
Bro, now I want Wawa.
You know, I never had a sub from there. I still got to experience that.
Bro, you know what? I'm going to take this stuff to your house, and then I'm going to take you to Wawa. How about that?
Dude, Wawa's far south from here. They're not, I would have gone already. There ain't any near me, man. But I will have one in the near future, and it's going to be beautiful. Because it's going to be Chick-fil-A next to a Wawa. Oh, my God.
I'm even amazed that they're building one still down south. You're on like 300.
There ain't no Wawa on 300. I live on 304. There ain't no Wawa on 300. I don't know where you got that shit from. Well, they're going to build a Wawa and a Chick-fil-A down near the entrance of the 18-mile stretch.
Say this, listen, check this out. Here's something really confusing about Chick-fil-A, which we all know they're good and fucking excellent. But they get all young girls to wait on you, and they're all freaking pretty. But they're a Christian-based establishment. It's pretty confusing. Which I'm not complaining, but...
Oh, man. Freaking Instagram. Somebody posted up a drag race between a dump truck and a semi. And I guess both of them were souped up. The freaking dump truck took the semi.
What? I want to see that.
That's fucking funny.
Oh, yeah, man. It's impressive because the semi actually lit him up, dude. And when the guy dropped the clutch, he lit him up. But the dump truck took off on his ass.
Hey, man, you know goddamn well that most dump trucks are owned by Spanish guys. So they put VTEC in that bitch, I guarantee you.
Yeah, Brian, if you have Instagram, it's an account called True Country Shit.
Of course I have Instagram. I follow you.
Oh, is this the part where I get a complaint about lack of content? Yeah, I know. I've been slacking the past few days.
I don't get it. What does that mean?
Well, the way you build up followers on Instagram is you gotta post regularly, man. You should be posting at least one thing a day, and it builds up followers. And I've kind of been slacking. I went through this binge where I was just like cranking out cassette decks like 3 or 4 a day. I was just servicing every cassette deck I could find around the pile that I could get to easily. I was just servicing cassette decks until I got burned out on it. And I built up a hell of a following on Reddit.
Oh yeah, Reddit, man. Reddit will get you a lot. I found that out by a musician who did that. He was getting like massive amounts of following through Reddit, and I'm like, and his music is not as popular as mine,
The account is locked.
Oh, it's worth a follow, dude. There's always some crazy shit on that account.
That's the thing about it. What makes you wonder, it takes time to go on all these social medias and just like post and post. And, just try to be on top and be original. And it takes all your time and effort. It's like, do these people even have jobs?
Well, you got people that post original content. You got people that just repost shit that they find. Some of them seem to work in like libraries or stuff like that. Like there's one I follow called Ticus Floydicus, and the guy's got like a fixation with trains. He's always coming up with really cool train pictures. Seems like he works in a library or something because it's just way too many historical pictures. There's another one called Historical Pics that's pretty good. I think that's where they get their stuff.
I'm following Christina Applegate. Just a fan club of Christina Applegate. People come up with stuff, but then I find some really cool stuff, and I'm getting like all kinds of likes and stuff. Which is funny, because, I'm kind of have a crush on her, but, so does everybody else for some reason. I thought I was the only one.
There's freaking fetishes for everything, bro. There's all kinds of craziness. I mean, I'm surprised at some of the shit I've seen on Reddit. I mean, there's freaking people that have, all there is, it's like, 50,000 people following a foot fetish account, crazy shit like that.
Oh my God, a foot fetish. Yeah. Damn it, man.
So where did you say that they're going to open the Wawa? On the entrance of where?
It's going to be approximately 3:30 in US 1, thereabouts. There's a Speedway gas station on US 1 just at the entrance of the Keys. It's a couple of blocks north of that. Now, it ain't going to be 3:30. Actually, it's going to be like 3:47, 3:49, something like that in US 1. There's a big empty lot over there, and what I heard through the grapevine from the what do they call that? The Chamber of Commerce down here is that there's a Wawa and a Chick-fil-A going in that empty lot next to a hotel that's being built.
And this is US 1 before the bridge, right? Not the bridge, but, going into the Keys?
Yeah, you got a Speedway gas station, and then you have the Last Chance Saloon, and then is the entrance to the 18-mile stretch. It's before that. It's kind of a weird location. They're going to have to redo the intersection because it's one of those locations where it's like you can't exit and make a left and go north. If you want to go north, you actually have to go out to Chrome, which is only a block away. because that's the point where Chrome and US1 are literally a block apart, and it's going there.
Robert, I want to tell you this. Going to Wawa is like the Logan experience. Once you go black, you never go back.
No, that's a lie. I'll tell you that. That's a lie. I tried that twice. No, just wasn't for me, man.
Okay, well, I guess that failed.
You do what now, Robert? I tried to have an ethnically diverse experience, and it just wasn't for me, dude. And I tried it twice. No, didn't work. Didn't happen, man.
You want to watch a really good video? I'll send a link to you, Robert. It's the link about the woodpecker from Russia. The intention. They get in depth. You know, they show circuit boards in the building. They show the whole antenna array. It's freaking phenomenal. Unbelievable, the massive structure of this antenna. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, what was it, a Sturba curtain?
It's crazy. All I have to say is these people meant business.
Original woodpecker, KJ4WW.
Oi! ¿Cómo está, Kent?
Up, and it would move through 40, and it had this weird way sometimes of coming back and jumping back, say 15 kV, and starting over, and coming right back through where you're talking about. But it usually went from the bottom up in the band.
The antenna was amazing. This massive structure had horizontal dipoles that were broadband, and there were dipoles of cone where it started small from the beginning, and it got wider, bigger round circumference towards the end. And this was massive structure. So when I seen this, I was like, holy crap. These guys meant some serious business.
Said it was, at one point, somebody tell me if it was still the rumor, but at one point it was up to 50,000 kW. 50,000 watts of power.
No, it was more than that. It was in the millions. Millions and millions.
Remember it? Remember it, man. So, it was very mechanical, but the woodpecker's what we called it.
Circuit around still and stuff. It's just phenomenal. But this is a huge facility, and when you see the massive structure of the antenna system, they meant business. So if they would have done that kind of structure in that antenna system, it's 300 foot tall, and it was probably, I don't know, four the football fields long, or I don't know what the hell. It was huge, man. Of antenna arrays, you know damn well they're going to put some power in it.
I remember hearing it as a kid when I first got into shortwave radio, when all that stuff was still going on, man. Before, the whole Soviet thing collapsed.
Built everything like that, and HARP was changing the weather. It was actually changing the weather over there, right above the facility more than anywhere else designed I understand it, but when they had those projects, it's like their airplanes, they built everything huge. They built their airplanes and helicopters so large that they couldn't afford to fly them.
Is HARP real?
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up, man. Look it up. You can find a lot of information on it. Now, there's a lot of conflict about what it was for.
Look at the governor. What's his name? The governor. He did a exclusive interview on it. I forgot the governor's name. What's his name?
Governor of who?
They all had diminished capacity when it came to their reproductive organs, and some of them had damage, priapism and what they call supragonadism. But it's just the opposite. I mean, everything got real small and non-functional, and that's what happens when you work around. It happens to the brain, too. We've had a couple of guys here that spent 50 years, right at the transmitter, and those poor souls got so goofy near the end of their life.
Well, I've known people that died working on AM transmitters all their lives because they had cancer. What was the governor's name? Do you remember? That did all those interviews about conspiracies?
Robert, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Are you talking about that guy from, that was a ham, Goldwater?
Oh, it's governor. He was a governor of something, and he made a show called Conspiracies, but he was a wrestler or something.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Give me a second. I'll find out.
No, that's the governor.
Yes, I'll be back.
Not Kana.
Told you guys about the Roman, didn't I?
I am the governor.
Burn this joke to the ground.
Jesse Ventura. With Jesse Ventura.
Yes, it was. That's right. And he was governor. That's right.
Good show, man. It really was a good show. The governor that just started realizing how much bullshit there was. Boy, he let them have it, man. He wasn't playing around in his show, man. Seriously. Look at Jesse Harp. He did the show about harp. Pretty cool shit.
I somehow find it hard to give credit to something that comes out of a wrestler's mouth.
Man, you're right. I felt the same way, but he did a lot of research.
Yeah, he covered his bases, man, that's for sure. Yeah, blah, blah, what he is, but he covered his bases, man.
Robert, today from a line and the message and all that, where are we at?
I think it's purely a conditional agreement. Meow. Freaking cat. Every time it sees me, meow, meow, feed me, meow, feed me, meow, give me cat treat, meow.
You're back in the imaginary pussy phase now. We've talked about that. Oh, I'm not allowed to counsel. Holy crap.
Wait a minute, I married something like that.
Good man.
having the same problem? Oh, man. You know, I knew this too, but I got this Facebook post of domestic abuse, how the domestic abuse has risen since this COVID shit.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I got tired of listening to police radio because that's all it was. It was all day long. It was either domestics or drug-related shootings.
No, and when you didn't have a domestic, a guy tearing up his house off his meds, Baker Act, or a domestic, or a dead body in the house, it was a dead body all over the place. Bus stops, face down outside Burger King. I mean, they were pulling bodies like 10 times more on every frequency I was listening to all day long. Correct, Robert? They were finding people all over.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, wasn't it Jimenez that said that he was so happy that we hadn't had a murder in 7 weeks? Was that Jimenez?
I don't know, man, but that stat is wrong as hell.
Here's what's even crazier is driving on 95 and just, anywhere on the road, people are acting crazy. Like they have to get there fast because they're afraid to get that COVID-19, and they're on your ass, and if you don't drive fast enough, they swerve around you and treat you like an asshole. It's like it's gotten worse on the roads even.
Affected the failure to cope with stress. I mean, there was one down the street where a guy broke out all the windows in his house. I mean, now who the hell does that? Because they know in 3 or 4 hours they're going to calm down, and guess what they need to replace?
Well, that was me at one time, with the ICOM handheld or something, or mobile that didn't react with me and it went out the window, but,
Have the bodies that were found, deceased all over, like at the bus stop on US 1, there must have been a dozen scattered all through there. People waiting for the bus stop like they were in the hospital or something. But we don't have that as a stat on COVID yet because they've got to go through special handling and special autopsies at a different location. And they're being stored in the reefer cars until that happens. So we may not know for weeks that they were COVID-19 or not.
Oh, who knows how many of those were just homeless people, that got it. And since obviously they're not going to go for any kind of medical care, they're going to be an easy target. Who knows? But one of the two, either the mayor of the city of Miami or the mayor of Miami-Dade County, one of the two was on the media touting, how wonderful it was that we hadn't had a homicide in 7 weeks or some crap like that, that it was the first time in, I don't know how many years that we hadn't had a stretch like that.
Well, most of the hitmen are just waiting on the COVID-19 to do its job.
The gangbangers are always killing themselves. Was he saying that the death from the gangbangers stopped?
Hired hitmen are just waiting for COVID-19 to do its job. To get
Right, he specifically said homicides. Now, what he meant by that, I don't know, but that's what he said. So, I guess if they find some homeless guy dead on the side of the road somewhere, they can't immediately rule that as a homicide.
This is the funniest thing is that if you're a hired hitman, You just wait on the fact that they died from COVID-19. Then you still get paid.
So imagine somebody stupid enough to withhold the payment to a hitman because he's saying, no, well, if you died of COVID, you didn't do your job. You know, you follow my logic, and they're going to withhold that guy's payment. Just saying, you know, think about it.
Hey, maybe the guy was methodical, you know? Had his buddy with the COVID, and it's like, hey, listen, I need you to put on this FedEx uniform. I need you to go to these houses, and when I open the door, I need you to sneeze.
35 years ago, it was urgent. I had to borrow $8,500 on the street. And my finance manager's name was Ice Pick. And when I met him and learned his name, I made it a point to pay him back, you know, on time.
Damn, Ken. You know, you could have gone over to Century Village and done some slightly enjoyable work for that kind of money.
Wouldn't it be more favorable if your name was Douche? Wouldn't that be more specific?
And it was an emergency. Detectives have friends in low places. It's just, you know, one of the guys I worked with said, you borrowed $8,500 from somebody named Ice Pick? Like, you know, he couldn't believe it.
It's pretty funny.
Hey, you need to borrow some money.
Oh, I know. That's why he got paid. I didn't miss a payment.
You imagine, like, cat going up, knocking on your door, like from Annabelle Hart, like knocking on your door, started singing, saying, I need some money. Forgot what that was. Oh my God. Can you remember the Annabelle Hart scene where that old guy knocks on the door, starts singing?
Didn't see that either. Jeez, man. I remember when that came out, though, because I couldn't help but notice that. As a kid, we had a professional billiard table. I don't mean one of the, like, Walmart jobbies. I mean, like, the kind of thing you'd see in a pool hall that you put the money into and all that. We had one of those, and it was built in Amityville, New York. And, you know, that always, like, creeped me out as a kid. I'm like, man, is the pool table haunted?
A little story about Annabelle Hart, that a lot of people died from doing that, and a lot of people got curses from it. That was a very tough film to make for a lot of people. Look in the history of it. It's unbelievable.
So is The Exorcist. A lot of weird stuff happened. But let me, at the Amityville house, you know, there was supposed to be the gateway to hell in the basement. Did you ever see a picture of that gateway to hell? It's like a 2-inch wide drain, you know, with the metal piece off. I mean, it was about as terrifying as a broken sprinkler.
Well, what about that part where she's floating around and it looks like a pool of chocolate milk, and all of a sudden, you know, skeletons float around?
Oh man, I see lots of skeletons at work, and you know, number one, they don't stay connected like that, but all they seem to really want to do is finish dancing with each other. Sometimes if you put on a waltz, they'll all start to dance, you know, for an hour or so, and then they're very content and happy.
shit. Somebody posted on it was either Neighbors or Nextdoor, you know, one of those neighborhood social media things. They posted up a picture. They spotted an urn in a canal near here. I guess somebody threw Grandma out.
Oh, no.
You guys following the YouTube group that gets cars, they take cars out of rivers, you know, as a service to the ecology, and they've got sponsors and they're buying better equipment, but they've also brought up a couple of cars where people's bodies were inside, and police departments have actually called them because they don't have diving units, you know, at Dry Fry, South Dakota, and sponsor it, and they're doing videos. Did anybody else watch those?
You know, they probably feel that they have to earn money somehow to support that urn, so they just throw it out.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with the urn. But, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Ken. I watched that because there was one about a tractor that they recovered for somebody to help them get a tractor out. But then I started looking, and there was like a bunch of different car ones that they found, like an old vet. There was some like 60s Jag.
Yeah, people are putting them, mainly dumping them in there after they stole them and they don't want them, or putting them in for insurance payoff. But this one kid who was missing, and the family thought, you know, I think he's probably down there. Some divers went in for one car and saw a bunch of the others, and instead of doing their job, they just informed, you know, they made the statement there was a truck down there similar, and these guys drove a couple states over, you know, and I've been on them to take the course, you know, police rescue, recovery diving, and, you know, get on part-time or something, because I tried to show them how to get a grant, you know, to pay for all that.
I heard there's at Westwood Lakes over between Miller and Bird Road, around 112th Avenue, that there's like a bunch of 40s, 50s era cars the bottom of those canals. I want to say it's 112th Avenue that has the bridge. There's a bunch of them in there where people just dumped them in there or something.
Check this out, though. There is, not that there was anybody in this one, but there was an Iraq Z Trans Am found in a trailer, semi-trailer, for years. You know, what, 20-something odd years, whatever? Stored in this trailer, which had the original wrapping on it still, where you had to still take the wrapping off the, you know, the door panels and all that stuff. And they found it. They pulled it out, man. Unbelievable.
Happens. It's still happening all over.
Oh, yeah. And that, those divers that you were talking about, Ken, there was, you know, the list of suggested videos. I don't know if you saw the one, the hole in the ground, the bottomless hole in the ground in England, where people have been throwing cars and everything else for like 40, 50 years. The guys that went and explored that dropped the cameras down into the water, and all the stuff that was in there. It's like, you know, some kind of cave that leads to a huge underground cavern filled with water. And they actually went in there with a remote control sub and went all the way down to the bottom. And it was just stacks and stacks of cars and farm equipment.
God, it probably rusted all the hell to this day, but damn.
There's a certain percentage of cars And in certain areas, some of them will all be unoccupied, but it's a very few. You always bring up suicide or old homicide, related stuff in there. Did you see that one place? It looked like an old boat ramp, and this wasn't the same group we're talking about, but it was a real easy pick where they basically, the record driver went in a little bit over his head and hooked into three cars, but he brought two up, and then he brought up a third, and two of those three each had three bodies in them. Total of 6 bodies that had been missing over 30 or 40 years. I mean, and it was pretty much in sight, of everybody for years.
One real quick thing. When I was in South Carolina, I started taking drives, going north, south, east, west. I started noticing, abandoned buildings, a lot of them. I'm talking 2-3-story mansions, nice buildings that are abandoned. Abandoned buildings that are just collapsed totally, whatever, to ones that are still up. And you get to wonder, this is just South Carolina, but you get to wonder what cars are still hanging around in a barn or some old freaking garage in an old place.
Oh, I found a Rolls Royce like that.
Tell us the story. I'd love to hear it.
Off of Sunset and 45th Avenue, there's a large 10,000 square foot Oolitic limestone mansion that was called Stonegate. It used to belong to the Gould family, very wealthy family down here in Miami. They owned that house and they owned the one next door. And, as curious kids, we found the house, overgrown and, snuck in like every other curious kid. And the house looked like it had been abandoned with everything in it. And in the backyard there was a 50s Rolls Royce, and there was a garage that was very dilapidated, fully stocked. Even the service manuals for the car were there. And there was some kind of weird foul play because the Gould family were very, very adamant about, nobody getting involved with anything having to do with that house. And they even tried demolition by neglect because it was a historic site. And they even tried setting it on fire, which they did burn the inside of the house down, but the shell survived. And then the people who bought it rebuilt it using the same exterior. But there was definitely something very weird going on with that house and the Gould family.
That's cool. Well, it's probably all mafia, some scenario mafia.
Nah, I'm going to go with some kind of foul play because I brought a few items home, some of which I still have, and something came along with those items, and it was some very, very, very weird stuff that happened until I finally asked it to stop. And it did. And a short time later is when there was a thing in the news about the house having been burnt down. But there's some kind of story behind that place, man. I don't know what was going on, but the family was very adamant about nobody talking to the grandparents grandmother, because grandfather died. And it was just some kind of weird stink about the property.
Well, wait a minute. Are you saying that it's something spiritual or alienated realm?
Oh, something definitely followed me home. Those who say furniture can't move by itself, I've seen it happen. Let's just leave it at that. But I wonder what the story was. I don't know. Kent's been around a long time. I don't know if there was ever any kind of stink with a homicide or anything that surrounded the Gould family, but there was something happened there. You don't just abandon a 10,000 square foot mansion and let nature run its course.
I have seen, let's see, does anyone want to join us? Hearing on KJ4WW. What I have seen in cases where two people have been wed, married, good marriage, good relationship, or even a weird one. But I've seen this in many cases where one of the two patriarchs in the family, the oldest mother and dad, who control the money and all that, but they're primarily living there with the kids that moved away years ago, and they're in this huge house. So one of them will pass away, usually in the house. The other will walk out of the house like they were going to get a newspaper, but they'll walk out and never go back in the house again for anything. They'll go because they can afford to, and they'll buy themselves another place away from where they lived before with the decedent, and they will never go back for a single thing there. They'll move to another location and buy new everything and just start their life from there. And they usually don't live longer than a year. But I've seen a lot of cases where the surviving couple, the one person, will voluntarily abandon the house for reasons of their own and never go back for anything, not one single item. And it usually turns out that when you've been in that house, the first one where somebody's passed away, that the house itself has a history of bad energy, real bad energy, especially while you're there processing it, but bad energy stories from the very beginning. And I don't understand why people move into these houses, because it's bad from the start. Does anyone have any other information to share?
Yeah, it's a premise to make a movie.
Well, I don't know what the deal was, Ken. But I will tell you that I went there a few times with different groups of people. Everybody experienced the same thing. It was scared shitless while we were outside. But when we walked into the house, there was just, everybody was overcome by the same feeling of peace and welcome. Everybody was comfortable there. And, I don't know. It's just weird. But I don't know, you might be able to find something online about it. It was called, it still stands, Stonegate Mansion. And it's off of Sunset and approximately 45th. It's near the old Pinewood Cemetery, maybe a few blocks from Pinewood. Place was built, they started construction in the 20s. It was finished in the 40s. And the guy who built it eventually sold it to the Goulds, and then the Goulds owned it until, the whole thing happened with the fire and everything. And then somebody bought it, and they were allowed to partially develop the land. So now that house is like the centerpiece of like 4 or 5 houses on the same piece of land.
That's the bad energy thing is there and all those structures.
Well, that's the thing, man. Everybody that went in there, when they went in, it was very peaceful inside, very welcoming. Problem was when we were outside, we were creeped out, man. As soon as we got in, that's when, everybody felt safe. It was cool. And it was just the damnedest thing because a lot of the belongings were still there. It's just so crazy.
Neil, KJ4QNE. I know some interesting. There's always been this thing about, contacting the past or the dead, you know. And it started a long time ago with radio waves and sound waves. And I forgot the individual's name that did this, but they developed multiple frequencies injected into one sound, so that the spirits can talk through this, able to utilize the vocals, being that all the frequencies are being there for them to modulate with. So he was able to talk to people from the past. Have you ever looked that up before?
Yeah, that's called Spiritcom. That's a Spiritcom device. It's a radio transmitter, receiver, and tape recorder type unit. Yeah, I've read a lot about that. I'll be right back. W4THM.
When you come back, I'd like to talk about the psychomantium.
Yeah, you're right about that, Spiritcom. Yep. Well, yeah, it started a long time ago. I have to laugh at that, though, because, you know, you would hear, and he's sitting there, and nobody know what he was doing. He was always facing the opposite direction of somebody. And you would hear, and he would ask, do you like cabbage? And he's like, I like cabbage. And I start to laugh at that.
There's a lot of EVPs that are starting to show up again in routine recordings, you know. Lots of stuff is being recorded for training and documentation. And there's this one tape I listened to, it's on YouTube, where the corrections people are using, you know, they're putting a knee down on the neck, and they do that all the time, and every now and then somebody dies from that. But in that, you know, you don't have to have any special equipment. You can hear extra stuff in there, and it's just not that unusual. For a long time, they weren't present, but now, for whatever reason, I'm starting to hear a lot of them, and they're right there on the tape.
The secret is to you know, focus on frequencies that aren't normally there, you know, that are in the shifting point. In other words, frequencies that are between, from going audio to RF, you know, from RF to light, you know, spectrums. That's the secret behind that too. And I've did a lot of study on this. You know, I talked to somebody that, you know, is pretty intelligent. We both have, you know, ideas on things, but most of the spirits and stuff like that, they like energy. They like a lot of high energy around it. So if you build up a lot of energy in a certain area, they will actually cling to you. You know, you'll start seeing, you know, in ultraviolet, you know.
Whoever they are, they're not talking to us. I mean, they're not talking to the observer or the participants. If it's a case I'm in, and we're logging evidence, you know, by voice, as each item is found in an area, and we think it might be relevant, they're talking to each other on the tape, but they're not a member of, and they're not anybody who's there watching, you know, like in a crowd. They're just talking to each other, clear as a bell.
Well, yeah, because it's obvious. My battery died. It's obvious because what happens is the tape recorders are magnetic waves. So, you know, we're all still speaking of, you know, energy in a specific area, which means that energy in any specific area can be recorded through, you know, magnetic wave, you know, tape recording, stuff like that.
It's like the tape recorders picking it up, no matter where they actually are. But it's very clearly on the tape, very clearly audible, and directly related to what's going on. It's not past the ketchup, or anything like that.
If you really want to make something interesting, build yourself a very sensitive preamplifier and make an antenna that's in massive length, like would almost fixate on that frequency, audio frequency. As you could imagine, RF being on audio frequency. You're gonna start hearing some really interesting shit.
About these guys who take the digital recorders and then they'll go to graveyards and start asking questions and getting answers on the EVP.
The fact is digital. A lot of real people are going to use the analog stage. And what I was trying to tell you is that if you really want to do some really strange and crazy experiments, take an audio preamplifier, make it very, very sensitive, and build an antenna for it instead of a microphone. You're going to hear some things that you might not want to hear.
Understand? There's a small percentage of detectives who will actually take time to ask, who killed you, how was it done, that kind of thing, right at the scene. And they can play the recordings. They get answers sometimes. It's really bizarre.
The truth of it is that we're all in different realms, We're in the first realm. There's a second, third, fourth, whatever. It goes down the list. It's finding out how to get to those realms, The realms are energy, specific energy that is present at the time in whatever realm it is. So, just like being on any frequency on the radio. It's plain and simple. You can laugh at it, and a lot of people can, but when you're in radio and you know radio a lot, when you hear radio, that it transmits a second harmonic, a third harmonic, a fourth harmonic, and so on. It gets weaker down the line. And the thing about it is the more you can get to the higher of the harmonics, the more you will know in knowledge. And this is funny because everything that happens in life has a harmonic. Think about it. Making sound and audio, right? If you make one sound, it's going to have a harmonic of it. And just like our life, we have harmonics too. And yeah, you can laugh at it all you want, but when you really know what's going on, it's a whole different world.
Before WW, like, see, I'm not laughing about any of it. That's what Einstein says. Everything has a basic resonant frequency, and he applies that to his theory, his basic theory of relativity. Just like a wire or a tower or an antenna, a person, we all, have spiritual resonant baselines, and everything does have a resonant baseline. now, it may not be charged with energy like a transmitting antenna, but it's got a baseline. Like when you tune to AF and during HF during very quiet periods, you can run across, sounds from the earth that are extremely strong, and that part of the earth where you're receiving is very resonant at that frequency, at that point in time. It's very profound, like it is a specific transmission. You've heard that before.
That Spiricom thing, I've been reading about. I don't think anybody has tried to build something like that again. But, a lot of the theories are that, there needs to be energy in the room. So I've always thought that, having some way to run ionizers in the room, energize the air, and perhaps being able to use two large plates connected to high voltage, so something can get in between them and modulate it. It'd be a very, very interesting project.
Well, look at Kirlian photography. Kirlian photography's been out for years, prime example of Kirlian photography is that, or the premise of it is that you generate high voltage in an aurora while you're taking a picture of half of something that was been cut in real life, which would be like a half of a leaf, for instance. Cut a half of a leaf. Do the Kirlian photography. Put high voltage in the background, or around in the aura, and take a picture, and you'll see the other end of the leaf exactly.
Ask another question.
Sir.
Clear.
Okay, go ahead. Good.
Okay, thanks. The pictures of the devil's faces in the smoke coming out of the towers, of course those could be faked and inserted, but the ones I saw look like that might just be a lucky photograph from a lucky angle to get it just right. But have both you guys seen those?
Yeah, but you know what? That's just like looking at the clouds and saying that every cloud looks like something that you recognize. Your mind is designed to relevate images to put in a face. You know what I'm saying? So anything that you see in the clouds, you'll always represent it as something in a facial manner.
Yep. Your mind is set up to look for patterns. The survival feature. Look for patterns. That way you can find food, for example, in the bushes. Yep. I haven't given too much, what's the word? Credit to some of those pictures from 9/11 because there's just so many of them. To me, it's kind of like the same thing with when people have pictures of orbs. With just one exception, I generally don't buy into pictures of orbs. Now, I did go to the lighthouse in St. Augustine one night. I love going over there. I've been over there like 5 times. And we went late at night, just my wife and I. We went ghost hunting over there. And we're on the grounds of the lighthouse, and it just felt right. And there was a ship's bell there. So, I don't know why, but I'm just like, okay, all right, we're going to take a picture by the ship's bell. Esther, I want you to stand in the middle, and I want you guys on each side of her. And man, I took the picture, and there was a freaking orb on both sides.
Very cool, you know. What are these damn things? They don't always appear, you know, and then when you do get a high quantity of them, they're all over, you know. What the hell are they?
Check this out. This is cool. And I've been doing a lot of study and research on that as far as making something visible to see orbs in a regular pattern. All right, just like a video camera. What does a video camera do? It takes images of shades in all the little pixels everywhere, you know, to bring it in one frame. My idea is to do that in a chemical base where you can take all these pixelated images with energy using chemical base, because you can't do it through energy, because you'll be seeing noise and you can't see it. Chemical base is a whole new level of understanding how to convert chemical base to electronics. So take chemical base and use that to capture energy images in a camcorder form, where if you actually just took this device, for instance, and pointed around, right, you could see energy all around you. You could see somebody keying up with an antenna right now and seeing the pattern with the antenna live. You know what I'm saying? If you saw this would be a huge eye-opening.
I don't know, man. I think the electronic methods, in my opinion, make more sense. I mean, you're looking for energy, so that makes more sense. Whatever it is, you know, thermal, infrared, radio, you're looking for some kind of energy. So that just seems to be the way that makes sense. And I mean, I've gone over there to St. Augustine and shot probably thousands of pictures, and I only got 2 unexplainables out of all of that. But you can still catch things with a digital camera.
Yeah. No, the reason why I'm saying chemical to energy is because you can't see energy in a picture view when you're using energy, because it's interference. It's like saying, you're going to transmit on the same frequency. In other words, you can't do it. You have to use a chemical base that can attract this type of energy and convert it back into visible. So I've done a lot of mind research on this. When you start thinking about it, you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm not a brilliant person, but I really do research,
Pumping up the camping masters of the sleep beyond is killing you. I'll be right back.
Just think of this, for instance. We're not electronics. We're all chemical-based. I mean, think about this. We're chemical-based, which is freaking amazing.
Yeah, but once there is no body, all there is energy. So that's the flip side of that, man. Well, I don't know. The whole spare comp thing has interested me, but at the same time, kind of freaked me out a little bit.
I've often talked to a partner of mine, and we've talked about this subject, and he said the same thing. It's like, imagine building something that can see orbs, energy around you, and energy that's a negative energy and energy that's attracting to you and causing you to have problems and stuff, you know. It would be like having thousands of mosquitoes on you.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't gotten together with any of them ghost hunting groups. There's one near you. They actually do a lot of stuff in Broward and Palm Beach. They rarely come down here. There's one over there near you. But got off on a few of those things. And I was invited to help out, like at the Deering Estate, on some of their little trips. And it's been interesting.
Oh yeah, man, and you can't help to deny that, you know. Being, you know, person like for me and you and people, audio, being an audio and RF, you know, you understand harmonics, you understand, you know, whatever happens, there's something that's going to happen from that. So, being that said, it's even in our bodies, it's what we do. So, and it's in a different level, so, you know, people just need to see what's going on, you know. A lot of people will laugh at it, you know. It's because they don't understand.
Hey, dude, whatever. You know, people laugh, and I just kind of brush it off. Because eventually, if they hang around me long enough, there'll be some opportunity to leave them wondering, like, what the hell was that? And it's like, told you so. So, I don't care. I don't give a shit what people's opinions are about that. You know, I've had enough interesting things happen over the years that I definitely do not doubt. You know, people around me want to doubt, that's fine. I don't care. Everybody's allowed to, you know, have their opinions.
Yeah, exactly, you know. I mean, you're smart enough to know bases and know what happens. Unexplainable things that, you know, defy your logic enough to question it, you know. And maybe they haven't developed that yet, you know.
Dude, it happens to me at estates. It happens at estates all the time. You know, eventually my wife just like stopped questioning it. Because, you know, I might go somewhere to some house that's been locked up for a long time and, you know, just walk around the house and I'll just like start reaching into places and, oh yeah, you know, pull the stuff out. Like, oh, there's something of interest in here. How do you know? I don't know. There just is. You know, boom, there's something really cool in there. You know, I've even found money like that, dude. At an estate over by the river. It was a guy that him and his wife, they both went senile, and eventually got locked up, and the state took the house, and, you know, because they both died. And the guy that bought the house is just like, I want to get all this cleaned out, man. So, I mean, it had been abandoned for a good amount of time, and you know, in this room with there's a bunch of old hand gear and shit, a lot of books on the wall, and for some reason, you know, I get this bug up my ass. It's like, okay, you need to go to the books. You know, grab that book. And, man, I kid you not, I pull out this book, start thumbing through it. You know, I just did like a quick search, see if there was anything in it. Bam, $100 bill inside the book.
That's crazy. Picture just recently of me talking to her mom. Not her real mom, but her mom, you know, adopted mom. And her mom is Portugal. Even though my mom is, you know, from, you know, she's German descent, which, you know, makes me German descent, you know, Swiss German anyway. But point is she took a Polaroid picture of me and her mom together laughing. And in the background, there's this whole smoky thing. Like, it's all smoke in the... I'll send you the picture. You gotta see this. It's all smoke in the background, like, in the air and around us. Like, it's a mist of a spirit. It's the freakiest thing ever.
Hey, what did Kent say? I didn't hear him.
Shit, did you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I heard you. I didn't catch what Kent said, if he was coming back or not. You don't want to, like, cut him out.
Yeah, where did Kent go? Where you at, Kent? I want to tell you something interesting, too, real quick. A friend of mine, that I knew real well, K4 NBC, which a lot of people should know, or if not know. He was there when 9/11 happened, and when the repeaters started going down, he started hearing all kinds of weird screaming noises and stuff in through the repeaters, which is really freaky. And, you know, he's not the one to make up shit, so he's got a lot of real true stories.
Oh, I wonder if they recorded any of that, man. I went there after it happened. I went there to help. I wasn't there when it happened. Let me tell you, that was a very memorable experience.
Yeah, K4 NBC. He maintained repeaters up on both buildings, and I mean, he even got the call sign NBC. You know, he worked for. He was a freelance investigator for. What do you call that? What's that show? Well, they're always doing investigating on, you know, people. Damn it. It just drives me crazy when I can't think of it. But anyways, but he had some stories, man. But yeah, he was there, and when he heard the repeaters go down and stuff like that, he heard all kinds of squealing and screeching and screaming sounds that were very creepy. He said it was unbelievable.
I never talked to the guy. I never really talked to him in depth, but that is interesting.
Yeah, very cool dude, man. I remember we would sit on the the ground out in front of my warehouse and we would just talk. You know, he would tell me stories about him and Burt Reynolds and how Burt Reynolds got his bodyguards to punch his teeth out and put a thing that you can't be by him. So whatever. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. He had a lot of stories, but when he told me his stories about 9/11, it was just crazy. I have pictures of him, being in the room there, but what a great guy. But yeah, man, he died, going down Beeline Road, man. He was talking on the radio, and he's like, "This guy's trying to kill me," and next thing you know, it was the end of it.
What, on the Beeline Highway?
Professional radio voice.
Yeah, he was on Beeline Highway, yeah. And apparently somebody was in the same direction he was in those lanes. But he swore when he was on the radio talking at the same time, he said, "Somebody's trying to kill me." And he was in a lawsuit for the Palm Beach Police Department. I guess the sergeant or something of that nature.
Dude, I drove that one morning to go to the Okeechobee Ham Fest, and it was just completely fogged out. It was the freaking creepiest drive that I've ever taken. It was like, I don't know if you remember old TV series called Creature Feature. It used to start off with like, you know, all this fog and like these trees and stuff. Man, it was like that. Driving through that shit, it was the creepiest damn thing ever. I had never driven on it before. Now when I got to the Hamfest and I told people which way I went, they were like, man, you're crazy. You know, so many people died on there. And I'm like, oh shit, guess I ain't doing that again.
I didn't know joke, man. I mean, he's such a super cool dude, too. I mean, like, when we first started talking, we were talking, I met him at the Hamfest up there, and, you know, up there where he lived, and I can't think of the name of it right now. It's a little up there, north of Palm Beach. And, anyways, he was careful. I mean, he owned a helicopter. But he got harassed by police departments there. He owned one of those police helicopters. And, you know, he had a big acre land, you know, big tower. And he remembered coming home and, you know, what do you call it, freaking police and people would search the helicopter to see if it's legit. You know, they were trying to get on his ass all the time, man. But he bought the helicopter outright, you know? It was one of those military helicopters, but it's not really military, it's what the police use. But you can't use them for commercial use, you know?
The Ranger.
Yeah. That guy got a lot of shit, man. I remember him telling me a story. This is funny. He got put in jail because he got caught making a little device that makes the sound for your payphones, like you putting change in. And he started reproducing them and, you know, giving them to friends. But apparently he got busted for it, so he was in jail. So his father gave him a ghetto blaster type radio, Sony something, whatever, and he put in a MC500 in it on the ham frequencies. So he was talking to people on the ham radio while he was in jail, and people were like, oh, I thought you're in jail. And he's like, well, if I'm in jail, then how am I talking to you?
He had a radio in the ghetto blaster and got into his own freaking repeater. And he sneaked it by them.
This is the stories he had, man. Let me tell you, man, unbelievable.
Yeah, I used to talk into the 44200 from the attic areas in the prison when I worked there. Sometimes I'd be up stuck in one of those, in the attic of one of the what do they call them, T buildings, and I'd be waiting for somebody or something, so I just changed the radio over to 44200, and I'd sit there and talk to people. Oh, where are you at? Oh, I'm in prison. Oh, I'm blow their mind. No, it's okay, I work here.
Freaking funny.
Oh, man. Yeah, I did that, but I think the most epic thing, they wanted me to fix the PA system inside the cell blocks. So I couldn't get the freaking console idiots to talk on a microphone properly. Because, you know, all corrections officers yell all the time. They can't talk like a human being. So I'm trying to diagnose whether speakers are broken or stuff like that. And I got some guy screaming into a microphone inside the bubble, and it's like, no. Forget it. So I convinced the warden to let me bring in a tape recorder. So I brought in a tape recorder with Led Zeppelin, and I was freaking playing Led Zeppelin in the cell block. It's cool as shit. You should have seen the faces of the inmates. They were like, what the fuck?
That's right. It reminds me of he worked for Inside Edition. He was one of those investigative journalists. Boy, the stories he had, man, unbelievable. Unbelievable. This guy had so many stories that it was just amazing. Yeah, it's just crazy. You know, the last time I seen him, I saw him, what was that, Hamfest way out west there, where you had to go into a freaking barn ranch where you drove through where you're seeing horses and shit. Where's that way out west there?
Yeah, it's the Okeechobee Hamfest. That's the one that I told you I took the Beeline Highway to go once. I'd never do that shit again.
Yeah, that's the last I've seen him. I think it was speaker or whatever it was, and he got hit on Beeline there. Killed him. And I remember up 35 megahertz repeater. You know, do one of those low band repeaters, man. That was one of his goals that he was going to do, because he had a 300-foot tower up on his little ranch area there. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It happens. Only the good die young, you know?
That's why Kent's going to live forever.
Just see.
You know, those Russian girls around, I think I would live forever, too.
Never see them again, you know. I'm getting ready to try to move to a new location on top of it. I think they're gone.
Ah, damn it, man.
Oh, but it was fun for a while. That one, the older one, that kept making me that health food crap. Well, it wasn't that bad, but, you know, she kept saying, you're the only man who's been nice to me like I'm a decent person. And I really seemed to, you know, she didn't know what to think about that.
What you would have had to say was, you know, the only thing that keeps me alive is kitty juice.
He told they were approached by this guy, one of the guys that comes in, who's with the University of Miami, trying to get his degree in film, but he wanted to make an original film and asked those two to be in it as female vampires called Spermula, and the plot was that the vampires had to have a certain thing to stay alive or they would die, and they had to have it on a regular basis. So they were going to get like a couple dozen beautiful girls to star in it, like vampires, only instead of living off of blood.
This sounds like your average delinquent plot of a porno.
Hey, so where do I sign up to be an extra?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, man. And they were those two poor girls. He had them talked into rehearsing so he could show them how to be perfect for the movie. Come on.
Even though you needed a real reenactment, still, you know.
You just run out of energy. You have to get some of the Homestead City Council in there to help.
This is great stories, man.
In reality, I got to interview a lot of women, you know, that were with men who did inherently, you know, horrible things. And the truth is, man, there are a lot of dizzy women in the world, and somehow they can be talked into almost anything.
Well, you know, my wife, she goes through papers a lot through, what do you call call that, people that, men that don't pay their money for children's support. You got to see the bullshit that happens in there.
You mean?
Oh yeah, children's support. Yeah, I mean there could be one file full of people. I don't get involved. I don't look at it or anything because you know it's part of privacy kind of thing. But man, let me tell you, you would be surprised at how many stupid people there are.
For like 4 months during the first part of one of my divorces, I was living in my red Jeep. You remember my red Jeep, Robert, the Jeep I had, this nice little red one. But I was living in my Jeep, spending the night in Pastor Landon's parking lot down at 6-7 and Sunset at the Lutheran Church. And I could stay there at night, you know, and I had a note from her and her phone number if they had to call. But, man, I lived in my Jeep just with nothing, on nothing. And I was still paying child support. I never missed the payment, you know.
Some of that stuff's jacked up, though, man. Like that whole alimony thing. I've heard of just too many women, and I mean like family members of my wife or her best friend's family members, where they got a divorce, they're getting alimony, they're living with a guy, they've been living with a guy forever, but they intentionally will not marry him so they can keep squeezing the other guy for money. It's so screwed up.
What's amazing is the number of women that don't give a damn what happens to the father of the children, you know, and I mean a father that stayed there, that's been involved, never missed it, never missed being in the children's lives, and stayed in their lives. But like all of a sudden, you know, they don't see it as a big thing whether the father of their kids, you know, for the children's sake, lives or dies, you know.
Well, what I'm trying to say is you can't believe the paperwork involved with one individual. I mean, going constantly back and forth and, you know, in the court, wasting time and money and paper and blah, blah, blah. And the end result is they end up making a copy of themselves, putting the middle finger out at everybody, you know. And let me tell you, it's crazy because the court wastes money. They all waste money, and you know, it's amazing. It's a sad situation. It's almost like, you know what? I should have learned the Greek way, you know.
The Greek way? What? Just run around doing other men in the butt?
That isn't, but I mean, it's just it's unbelievable the endless amount of cases. You don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous the end amount of cases.
Oh yeah, man. Because you got a lot of responsibility on both sides, dude. I had this girl in one of my classes. Obviously, I've been through the School of Hard Knocks. Really pretty girl, like early 20s, but obviously I've been through the School of Hard Knocks. And she had like 4 or 5 kids. And, you know, it's like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know, you don't work. You're at this age. You're trying to fix yourself, but here you are pregnant again. You ever heard of a freaking condom?
Or at least the Greek way. Yeah, really.
At the very least, you know, a birth control pill, man. It's like the easiest thing in the world to keep from getting pregnant. One tiny little sugarized pill a day. How hard is that?
Weird. I heard a lot of women love anal because it's more feeling than the vaginal way, you know. So it's like, well, you know, it's common sense, but at the same time, well, a lot of them are afraid of it, I guess, or whatever the case is. Maybe it is a problem, you know. I don't know all the true facts on that, you know. Not really into that, but it's just the fact is that it makes sense, you know, that, you know, as a woman, why should you have to take drugs when all you had to do is you have another hole somewhere?
Well, that's easy, because if there isn't proper cleanup and preparation, it might be an alarming experience for the person who's participating.
Well, that's a fact. I mean, you know, yeah, that's true, you know. And, you know, learning curve with that, but like anything, if you take drugs, you still have to learn about that, too.
I remember when I had all these stupid, well, they weren't stupid, yeah, they were. I had all these monumental, stupid, different courses to take, you know. Get a counseling license. I remember a couple of my patients, you know, at the drug counseling center would say, my only problem with drugs is I can't get enough of them. I can't afford them. That's it, man. That's their whole perspective on their trouble with drugs. They can't get enough.
It's kind of like thinking of, you know, the hard-on pills, you know. Well, if you actually attracted to somebody that looks hot, you wouldn't need that hard-on pill.
Swing!
Mikey, sometimes you have a way of kind of cutting things down to the very basic point.
I don't know, it's kind of awesome, and, you know, she looked awesome when you're freaking shit-faced, and then you wake up and you're just like, what the hell is that troll? I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Funny, though. Yeah, life is just strange, because when you really think about it. There's so many things that we can do wrong and so many things that we can do right. And yet we end up doing always wrong. And sometimes we might get something right because we learned it somehow. You know, but the end result is that we're born to do everything wrong. We're all failures in some way, you know? It's crazy.
You mean to tell me all these women been lying to me?
What, you haven't met a woman yet that needs...
Oh yeah, you're doing it right. Oh, God.
See, the thing about women is they always need to know that they're secured, which means that at this time and point now in this world is money is the only secure they have. So now it's a whole new level of people. Women, obviously.
Nah, you know what? I'd say a lot of them think that way, but not all. There's still plenty out there that have respect for a man that could actually find a way to make it happen, find a way to make it work, find a way to fix it, find a way to survive. You know, not just like, oh yeah, you know, my husband makes a lot of money. He doesn't know how to do anything, but he makes a lot of money. It's like, yeah, well, the money should be gone, then what?
Point exactly is that, oh, my husband can do this, my husband can do that, you know, which still puts the point of secureness to them in order for them to be attracted in a way, you know. It's kind of like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not being a man, whatever, you know, asshole. It's just, when you look at things, it's kind of a whole new perspective in life, you know. That men are horny, men want certain things. Women are horny, and they want certain things too. And they have a whole new objective into it.
Well, damn it, Mikey, get off the radio and go play with your woman, because that's what I'm going to go do. Bye. I'm out of here. W4THM.
Have a good night, KJ4Q Woody.
All right, good night, guys. I'm falling asleep. Good timing. Double woof and sweet dreams, guys. Anybody else out there listening who doesn't have your license yet, please remember the 2 radio clubs. State Radio Club gives the exam on the second Monday night of every month. They give a good test. It's quiet. Come prepared. And Everglades Amateur Radio Club on the second Friday of every month will give the exam as long as we're having a meeting. So just a thought. It's not as hard as some people think or say it is. KJ4WW. Good night, Mikey.
Have a good night. Yeah, it's a good conversation, man. I love talking like this because, you know, it's fun bringing up stuff, you know. Good stuff that nobody normally talks about, so. But, all right, guys. Have a good night. KJ4Q Woody.
Man, well, you know, you don't want to have your wife recording this and playing it to you later, like before she puts the stake duck into your heart, bro. So just, you know, keep in mind the old detective, old Doc Gilpin here. I have seen several cases of steak knife through the heart. KJ4WW.
Oh, that time is past. Now it's a steak full of coronavirus.
All right, go. Behave yourself. Be good.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
In the morning.
When you're horny, and you're horny too, don't take enough to make you full of your juice. The best part of waking up is you hear Mikey on this repair and blah blah blah.
AK4FU Mobile. AK4FU Mobile. AK4FU Mobile. Barbecue. What is happening en la wiki? Oye,
Mickey, you have to wake up. You have to regulate over here in the frequency.
The time on deck is 0700. This is N4WZQ, Government Mobile. Good morning.
Why, yes. Yes, it is. W4. Oh, I try. Good morning, Melanie.
What on, brother? I'm on southbound 995 approaching downtown area. A lot of traffic bottlenecking into 2 lanes.
Roger that. Yeah, I'm already approaching the work 20 over here. Yeah, notice that there's a little bit more traffic.
Yeah, well, not everyone is going to be going to work. I think a lot of these folks are going to head out to the parks and beaches and whatnot, or boating. I don't know, but I haven't seen any boats yet this morning.
Yeah, because I was going to say, most of these people are unemployed, so where are they going at this time of the morning?
And that is a very good question I'd like to know the answer to. Who knows, maybe they're trying to look for a job. Maybe so, but oh my God, have you ever went into downtown proper? Oh my God. I went in there and under every overpass and any overhang, they've got tent city. I kid you not, people are camping out in downtown.
That's terrible.
My guess is a lot of them couldn't pay rent anymore because they lost their jobs, so they still have, some personal effects and items, and they bought a tent. And they're tenting on the sidewalks and underneath the overpasses. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it is. I don't get that. Most of the landlords and banks and all that, we're not supposed to charge people for rent, and they were still charging anyways.
Well, despite what's happening around us, we've still got a lot of cold-hearted people that still only want cash.
Yeah, man, I don't get it. A lot of us got breaks when it came to paying mortgages, rents, and stuff like that. They gave everyone a break. But yeah, you still had landlords charging their tenants for rent.
Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.
Buen día.
Yeah, man. That's Miami for you. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Lenny. Good morning, everybody. KI4ZYV. Good morning.
Good morning there, Sergio.
How's everybody doing this beautiful morning?
Just peachy. I'm wearing my mask. I'm still in my getup. Oh yeah, everything is fine. And I just went through the hospital area on 12th Street and 12th Avenue. I'm almost to the work QTH as soon as I cross the bridge.
Roger's on that, man. Absolutely.
So yeah, I should be counting my blessings that I still have a job, I still have my health, and and I still have my ham radio. Woohoo!
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Sergio, I gotta take my CP200 to Robert because he says I'm not gonna understand the software, some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a little piece, some instructions there for you to do it, so it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, pretty straightforward.
No, I know. No me lo quiso mandar. All he said is, no, you're not gonna understand it, this and that, so just bring the radio. So I guess I'll just have to take him the radio.
Yeah. Well, I sent him the file. All you have to do is copy the file into the replace two files in the directory. You gotta go into the, when I send the package, you go into it and then the original CPS executable file, you know, not the install file, the program file. Once it's installed, you just replace the executable and you replace a DLL file, which that allows you to open up the band split. That's what I hex edited it on the modified band split for it.
Yeah, bro. Alright, well, I'm gonna take him the radio when I get out of work. I just got here to work, so, yeah, man, y'all have a good day. 73s, and be safe. W4THM.
No trabaje mucho.
Yes, 73 is Black Sheep. Have a good day.
You too, brother.
No trabaje mucho.
No, yo siempre trato de no trabajar mucho. Porque si se pone a trabajar mucho, después te quieren reventar con más trabajo.
You got it. Ay, buenos días. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, 55.
Yeah, good morning, Lenny. 73 over there, and Sergio. Big hug. And a chilling morning, though. Chilly morning or a chilly morning?
Yeah, 55. What a chilly morning, man. Ya tú sabes. Aquí came to get some breakfast real quick, and on my way back to my place. You know? Just another day in paradise. Que bueno, taco, tonight, turn on the fire pit. You know, kind of hang out, chill. It's Friday, bro. Friday. I see a lot of more vehicles, a lot of more cars out, you know what I mean? A lot of more cars are out.
Sergio, good morning everyone. Hoy, no sé si Rolly te mandó, pero yo en Brian lo vamos a mandar hoy.
¿De qué?
Hey, cash out.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, Daniel sent me $50 already, so we got 50 towards the rack. Whatever you and Brian are going to send, that'll go towards the rack. It's $200, so we're almost there.
Dale, yo te lo mando, lo vamos a mandar hoy a las 12.
Dale, George, no worries. I gotta hit up Rolly and Hitman and see if they send their donations.
Happy birthday. No. Good morning.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hello, neighbor.
Won't you be mine?
Oh, yeah. E.T. phone home.
E.T. phone home.
Ay, gadé, está chilling. Está chilling, coño, horrible, qué clase de frío. Pero ¿y esto porque estoy tan frío? Déjame ponerme una guataca que estoy desnudo aquí en calzoneta, horrible, con razón estoy con frío. Ay, 7:25, morning, Friday morning, viernes, hoy es viernes, hoy era día de Sancheque, pero a partir de abajo uno trabaja.
Where everybody go this morning?
Sí, todo, quiet morning. It's chilling. Abríguense, pónganse gorritos, porque si no, se les van a frizar los huevitos. Coño, me salió en verso, mira. Say hello to my little friend. Este frío lo tiene chiquitico. ¡Ay, se me escondió el pipi con el frío, coño!
Check. Your zipper's down.
KJ4, Whiskey, this is Kilo 4, Sierra November Bravo.
KI4 ZYV, good morning. Good morning, Sergio. Good morning, back again.
Station in there calling, you can say hello to us, it's not a phone, Oye, 55, ¿quién es el satélite pinga este que sigue saliendo aquí? Bro? De la misma mierda el otro día sale y llama no sé quién cojones, una pinga y no sabe saludar a la gente.
You already know.
Anyway, what's going on there, Mr. 55? Breaker. Estoy aquí armando un carrito ahora. Dentro de Harbor Freight. Qué bueno me salió el carrito este.
Discúlpame, bro. Tú sabes cómo es la matraca aquí con los satélites y la tensión esta acá. ¿Qué me decías, perdona ahí?
Nada, tranquilo, nada. El sapingo este ya es el cuarto día que él sale y llama no sé quién pinga. Entonces cuando uno le responde, él se hace el loco como si no escucha a la gente. Te vaya para la pinga a llamar aquí. Esto no es un teléfono, no es una pinga. Vete el coño de tu madre a llamar por otro lado.
Sí. Por ir para allá, para casa el coño de su madre. Ay, brothercito, es así, bro. Ay, coño. Pues ya tú sabes, men. Anoche he tirado tremenda pana, me quedé dormido oyéndolo, bro, me levanté con el walkie-talkie grabado en el pecho. Y esta mierda que cuando empezó Lenny a hablar a las 4 de la mañana con este, y digo, ¿y esto qué es? Me vibró el pecho, tú sabes, y era, me quedé dormido con el walkie-talkie arriba. Y me despierto y me así, me volteo a ver, y el walkie-talkie
walkie-talkie grabado en el pecho.
Yeah, no. I hear you, bro. That's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Yeah, man. Aquí estoy armando un carrito de Harbor Freight que compré de esos carritos de soldar que lo voy a coger para poner el Spectrum Analyzer arriba. Para poder rodarlo para allá para acá. Es un Spectrum Analyzer de los más viejitos, pero ahí, ¿cómo se llama? Estoy aquí armando el cacharrón hoy temprano aquí por la mañana y después a comenzar a pinchar, pero quería ir a resolver esto por la mañana temprano.
Sí, brother, eso le tira pichón ahí a eso, armándole ahí. Eso es un momentito. Lo que es un bosch de tornillos, tú sabes.
Así estoy poniendo aquí tornillitos. Ahora de este retorno ahí en breve a salir a darle un cocotazo al viejo de mierda ese ahí, que ya lleva 3 días llamando y no se da cuenta que ni el que está buscando no está aquí y que esto no es un teléfono, cojones.
Ay, pero eso es lo que te puedo decir que tú no sepas. Ay, brother. Anoche me dieron tremenda terapia con el barril ahí del norte. Los tipos estos, cuando él salió yo me fui, bro. Yo no quise ni decirle nada, tú sabes. Yo me quedé ahí a escuchar, bueno, que no te digo, me quedé dormido. Pero ahí se quedaron ellos ahí en su terapia. Yo estaba cansado. Yo iba a hacer DX ayer ahí, me puse a hacer un poco de DX ayer en la tarde ahí a las 10, a las 9:30, 10. O entre las 10 y las 12 ahí que tuvimos, que salieron ellos ahí, y ahí yo me fui para adentro, me fui para allá, para el cuarto con walkie-talkie. Y hablé un ratito ahí, 2 o 3 palabras ahí. Oh, me quedé dormido, Oye, qué cosa más grande. Oyéndole la lengua, oyendo la terapia que tenían los berracos estos que estaban dando de pico y abrazos y toda mierda. Yo no puedo. A mí tú me haces eso, yo te digo, oye, brother, no me llames, no me hables, no me preguntes nada, ni si me miras y cámbiate de acera.
Ya tú sabes, brother. Así que, oye, ¿a qué hora fue la terapia esa? ¿Pero qué le dijeron? ¿Que era con el barril del norte?
Bro, eso fue a medianoche como hasta la 1:00 y 1:30, 2. Yo me quedé dormido como a las 2 de la mañana con la terapia. Ese día, muchachos, dieron una lengua ahí, Robert, el otro por allá, muchachos. Y estuvieron ahí hablando de esto y lo otro, y que por aquí, que el radio, que la repetidora, que esto, que por acá, que no sé qué era lo que hablaban, porque yo estaba entre dormido y despierto. Estuvimos con Milton hablando de los DX y esa bobería que estábamos haciendo por ir para allá. Bueno, conecté Rusia, Kuwait, conecté South África, Australia. Oye, brother, estaban pingadas las condiciones.
Está bueno, a ver quién entró por ahí, dale, adelante.
Dale, mijo, no tengas miedo. Coge tu espacio ahí. Y para efectos de identificación, esto es en vivo, en directo, desde la ciudad de Merli y sus alrededores, acá en los Tujurios, América Granada 4, Japón Hotel, AG4, Importation ID, live from Merli.
I think this is a phone. I want to call somebody. It's okay to be social, asshole.
Mira dónde encontré una soldadura fría, bro. Estaba loco, ya me tenía loco estar teniendo que moverle el speaker mic tenía que moverle el speaker, no, el speaker, sí, el speaker. Aparte de atrás del radio ahí, que cada vez que se me quedaba sordo tenía que moverle la... Mira, ahorita lo destapé y me puse ahí con la lipa. Y mira dónde encontré la soldadura fría, aquí un palito de estos aquí de la... Ahorita le doy un...
Ay, Dios, así mismo yo encontré un transmisor que yo tenía, que yo le daba un golpetazo y
y se echaba a andar. Así mismo yo he encontrado una pila de soldadura fría, men, así mismo.
Puse ahorita, tú sabes, porque vaya, ya me tiene cansado, men. Cada vez estoy tratando, veo el radio y lo veo, y veo la aguja moviéndose y le toco el cablecito y empieza a andar. Digo, mira, me tiene cansado. O le toco la parte de atrás y al momento empieza a oírse. Y entonces ahorita lo desconecté y lo saqué para acá, lo destapé y me puse con la lipa ahorita y mira dónde estaba. Y me puse a moverla ahí con el destornillador y ahí mismo apareció. Ahí mismo, ahora le doy ahorita estoy calentando ahí el cautín y le hago tic, 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 a todas las puntas esas ahí, las recupero ahí le puse un poquito de cremita arriba, tú sabes, para que para que limpie el estaño y eso. Y le pongo una gotitita de tallo nuevo encima cada gota.
Calienta bien el cautín ese.
Esto, tú sabes que me compré uno que es imitación del jaco ese. Tiene pistolita de echar aire y trae dos puntas, dos lápices y un montón de puntas.
No, de verdad que los chinos han acabado con todo el mundo. Los chinos han acabado con todo el mundo.
Déjame decirte que muchas cosas de que hacen los chinos, no depende la zona donde lo compren, porque hay varias en China imitan una cosa, la imitan en varias zonas de China, tú sabes, varias compañías que tratan de hacer la réplica. Y muchos de ellos lo hacen con buena calidad, brother. Los materiales y todo lo hacen con buena calidad. Tú ves la terminación. A veces ves uno que te dice, cojones, esto viene rústico todavía. Le falta terminación, tú sabes. Pero no, este vino se ve bien, trabaja bien, tú sabes. Y está cumpliendo las especificaciones, que es lo más importante.
Así mismo es, 55. Yo he comprado 2 o 3 cosas chinas, me han salido buenas, brother. Soldadores también y cosas así. Los chinos están echando para adelante.
Comprado, tú sabes qué es lo que pasa, que han comprado muchas, mira, los chinos son millonarios, bro, los chinos tienen dinero con pinga, no es bobería, no es broma, los chinos están podridos en billetes, porque como tú sabes, casi todos lo imitan y casi todos lo venden, están podridos en billetes, entonces ellos han comprado muchas patentes. ¿Sabes que la patente tú la puedes comprar después de 10 años que tú haces una patente, tú la puedes comercializar si quieres, ¿tú sabes? Pero son 10 años de potestad lo que tú tienes cuando tú tienes una patente. Después de los 10 años tú la puedes vender, rentar, hacer lo que tú quieras, tú sabes. Y los chinos han comprado infinidad de patentes, por eso es que el mercado está inundado de todo es chino, porque todo lo han comprado en patentes, tú sabes. Entonces no pueden hacer nada, no pueden decirle que no lo haga porque ellos legalmente la han comprado la patente, tú sabes. Pero sí, hay buenos productos, brother, hay buenos productos. Mira, nosotros experimentamos mucho aquí con la goma china. Vaya, para que lo sepa. Tenemos gomas de China, de Singapur, tenemos gomas de Tailandia, tenemos gomas tú sabes, de varios lugares, de Indonesia, de varios lugares de esa zona de por allá del otro lado del mundo. Están comprando patentes, están utilizando, tú sabes, igual que todo el mundo, mano de obra extranjera. Pero hemos tenido buena experiencia con goma china, brother. Buena experiencia con goma china. Hay goma china que nos ha durado año y medio una goma en carretera. Hay que tirarle duro. Firestone, bien Goodrich, ¿sabes? Goodyear americana, no el resto de... fíjate que nosotros estábamos viendo unas Michelines, hechas en Tailandia.
Yo lo creo. Aquí hay una pila de cosas hechas de tailiana, de mierda. Muchacho. Aquí hay una pila de cosas hechas así. No. Y fíjate que los chinos están echados para adelante, que Roberto se ha vuelto medio chino, hasta Roberto el gordo es chino.
Sí, no tiene un restaurante chino ahí en el centro comercial en su casa ahí. Conoce a los chinos ahí, pasa ahí en su diálogo ahí, sí, Sansón. Le gusta escuchar el grupo ese. ¿Tú has visto el grupo de chinos ese que está rompiendo como 6 o 7 chinitos?
Ah, todavía no lo he visto, ¿cuáles son?
Hay un grupo ahí de chamacos ahí que son japoneses, no, o chinos, no sé de dónde son. Y están como los cienciosos, ¿sabes?
El Chin Chan Chong, pinga chiquita.
Yo creo que parece que le gustan a Robert así.
Ya le cayó mierda el piano.
Ah, pero no es tu amigo Alian.
A lo mejor es Carnita, sal para afuera, coño.
Coño, le dio pena. Le dio pena ahí la matraca, pero bueno. él sabe que aquí está querido también ahí. Él sabe que está querido también aquí. Tú sabes que nosotros le derramamos el amor así. Les derramamos el amor así para que ellos, tú sabes, se saboreen ahí, se llenen de leche.
Es que yo tengo muchas ganas de acostarme con usted.
Ya comenzó la mariconería.
Te buscan. Ahí te buscan, Sergio.
Porque tengo que cagar.
Y por eso te tiene que encerrar. Y porque yo no le conociera el culito. Esconde, ¿a quién te espera?
Yo, Sergio, you there?
Rajos.
You want to hit that gate for me?
Yes, sir.
Ya. Parece que están saliendo. Es que tú sabes que es ellos tienen walking closet, no. Ellos, tú sabes, tienen un walking closet. Y entonces la puerta se les pierde entre toda la ropa que ellos tienen tirada ahí adentro, men. Y entonces de vez en cuando encuentran la puerta y salen, tú sabes.
Eso es así, 55, imagínate qué se va a hacer. Ahora te retorno en breve. ¿Qué hay Force, baby?
Dale, men. Dale, vamos a estar por acá. Alfa Golf 4, Juliet Hotel.
La otra tarea, la de español. 10 palabras con J. La primera,
Jesús.
Jesús, muy bien. La segunda,
Juanita.
Juanita, muy bien. La tercera,
Pues puta.
If you are ugly, you are ugly. Stop talking about inner beauty. Men do not walk around with X-rays to see your inner beauty.
Oye, a mí no me entra ningún virus. Yo me tomo mis 3 vitaminas C, 3.000 miligramos y tengo mi resguardo. Le prendo una vela San Lázaro y para la calle, ¿eh?
Yeah. Whatever.
KJ4, Whiskey, this is Kilo 4, Sierra November Bravo.
W4YBJ.
What's up there?
Audio, check, 111 Mauricio, check. Am I working, check. Getting on down in that world of sound. N4 OFX, Boca Raton, Florida. Break. Got a lot of bacon frying in there, driver. I heard good morning from Deerfield, I think, Ben. No copy, driver. No copy. RE320, RE320, RE11. Audio Technica 2020, Audio Technica 2020. Backing off the microphone, 11111. Check. N4 OFX, break it on down.
AK4 fuse, KM4 GCL. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's
¿Y por qué?
audio. No game. Azúcar, Alfa Golf Force, Juliet Hotel.
Igualito que como se baila el manzanillo, pero venga y con más Joselillo. Venga para bailar esto. Ay, pero venga compadre para bailar esto. Pero este son que retos son. Oigan y con más José. Venga para bailar esto.
primer tabaco yo lo prendo a las 6 de la mañana. El segundo a las 7:30. ¿Cómo estoy ahora? Voy por el tercero. No está mal. Bueno, 1.2 con Stanley Way. Oh, a ver cuánto watts es la mitad. Bueno, no está malo. Esta es la antena direccional que fabriqué, brother. Esta es la antena direccional que me puse a inventar ahí con el muchacho este de Cuba.
KI4ZYV, good morning, everybody.
Get a signal.
Right there, from on top of the world. Come on, Creed. KI4ZYV, downtown Miami. Looking at the repeater. Come on.
What's going on up there today, Sergio and 4OFX?
I'm at another building here in downtown Miami. I'm like looking in the distance, looking at the rooftop of the repeater. Mighty nice. It's a beautiful day out today, man. God damn, it's nice.
Yes, sir. Beautiful day. That storm pushed through yesterday and made today real nice, man. Real nice.
What you doing there, Mr. OFX?
Checking up on my unemployment claims here. I'm about to have some breakfast. I think I got to do a little yard work today now that the weather's nice. Other than that, not a whole lot, man.
Yeah, roger that. Stand by. I got a quick thing here. Hold on.
Breaking it on down.
Because you know that I know.
You better fix that air leak.
Breaking it on down. That's right. W4YXI.
W0 LAB. Anybody got an engine hoist?
Audio check. 1, 2, 3, audio check. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what the hell's going on out here on the repeato? The repeato is dead. Terrible. W4, white side.
Something on the repeater heaters? Fix that air leak.
Bringing it on down in a great big world of sound, ladies and gentlemen. KN4, YBK.
Yabba dabba doo.
W4, white side on the frequency. Oye, hasta acá hizo la repetidora hoy. Either that or is the echo link is not working. Oh, yeah. What's up there, Milton? ¿Está saliendo esto o no está saliendo? Sí, está saliendo. Hace 4 batallas. Ay, ya lo hay, muchachón. W4, white side. Yes, on the air. On the down. On the big world of sound. Nímelo 55. ¿Qué es lo que ha estado pasando aquí por la frecuencia? Aquí, brother, lo mismo con lo mismo, tú sabes cómo es eso. Siempre está la matraca para allá o para acá, pero siempre está en movimiento. Entre una cosa y la otra, pues, siempre hay cómo evolucionar, ¿no? Y se divierte uno aquí con los satélites y las órbitas y la chancletería y de una forma u otra, pues, oye, no es fácil, pero la tolerancia, tú sabes que la tolerancia hay que mantenerla ahí. Claro que sí, muchacho, que así mismo es. Pues nada, aquí, en el trabajo, en la hora del almuerzo aquí, ya tú sabes, brother, ya estoy loco por irme de aquí, ya, brother. Te queda lo menos, ya te queda lo menos ahí, tú sabes. Ya viene el mediodía abajo ahí, ya un ratito ya dice, oh, me fui. Así mismo, muchachón, ya. Y ahora, después del almuerzo, el tiempo corre más. Ya cuando viene a ver, ya son las 4. Ay, si se está en el almuerzo, entonces hay buen provecho ahí, mi hermano. Gracias, muchachos. Ya te estoy aquí en la escucha. W4 Wi-Fi. Tírale pichón a la situación ahí. Buen provecho. Vamos por acá, inventando, por ahí estoy cerrando un radio aquí que le arreglé la cuestión del plug ahí del speaker que me tenía loco. Cada vez me quedaba sordo y tenía que estarle moviendo el cable para que agarrara ahí una soldadura en frío ahí. ¡Ah! Ahora lo estoy cerrando por acá y quedó picado. Así que estamos en esta. Así que por acá, Alfa Golf 4, Juliet Hotel.
know that I know. Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. Yo. 4 Kilo Charlie, Bicycle Mobile. Evidential. Thanks, Charlie. Goodbye.
Pocas metralletas, helicópteros y aviones, las bases aéreas repletas, tienen almacenes llenos de macarolla, carena y sin embargo, un simple celular temblando los tiene. El mundo se conecta en cualquier parte, normal eso. La tecnología avanza velozmente hacia el progreso. En Cuba amenazan poner multa o meter preso. Y en vez de para adelante, mi pueblo va en retroceso. Mandan un perro sin hueso a reprimir un hermano por el simple hecho de verlo con un móvil en la mano. Quieren silenciar la realidad del pueblo cubano, la realidad que no se atreve a decir Rafael Serrano. Se meten por el ano, leyes y sus decretos. Ustedes tienen gente haciendo cola en el país completo. Y cuanta cola vea, va para internet. Tú quieres que el mundo te crea, yo quiero que crean lo que ves. Está bueno de Guayama y del discurso de altruismo. ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Sí, comunismo! Pues haciendo claro y tú viviendo el turismo. ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Sí, comunismo! Hay un bloque que es impuesto por ustedes mismos. ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Sí, comunismo! La buena de ustedes es... ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Sí, comunismo! Javi. Hola, Siri. Más viendo en las redes sociales que no hay solución para los polos, los apagones y el hambre. Lo único que hay son leyes y decretos. Una charla caliente, cuéntame cómo está la cosa, ¿no?
Te recuerdo, yo llama, la cosa está caliente aquí en La Habana, hay hambre, falta poco para que el pueblo coma rana. Dice peso en redes, de banco somos llana, pero busca el alimento en tierra norteamericana. Falta letra, propaganda socialista, aplausos nocturnos de nuestro pueblo altruista. Este mismo pueblo que celebra la conquista del Señor, no se mueren estos comunistas, 60.000 veces que el cielo me dio el decreto 360 otra vez. El hermano puede hacer lo que le dé la gana a usted. El muro de Facebook es mío, yo me pago el internet. Abusos policiales, señores, hasta policías que violan menores, ya en TV no sale. Las noticias no son falsas, falsos son los oficiales. La verdad de este país está en las redes sociales. Muchos comerciales, muchos canijales, hablando porquería, economía que no vale. Con todo asegurado por el día y sus canales. Ya antes del corona el pueblo se le callan los portales. Hermano, mi abuelita ya tiene 93. Si no fuese por lo suyo ya hubiese tirado el pie. Y el régimen sigue viva usted con lo que se le dé. Y una luz de picadillo le cuesta su sueldo al mes.
Está bueno de guayaba y de discurso de altruismo. ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Viva comunismo! El pueblo haciendo cola y tú viviendo del turismo. ¿Ah? ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Viva comunismo! En Cuba hay un bloqueo interno impuesto por ustedes mismos. ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Viva comunismo! La muela que meten ustedes es... ¡Viva Cuba libre! ¡Viva comunismo!
Is that what you're listening to while you're mobile on your bicycle? Sounds pretty good.
Where is everyone? Hanging for you, RJ.
Sitting here looking like this, N4 OFX.
Has it been this quiet?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out, man. Everybody's getting a nice sun, you know?
Man. Alright. Breaking it on down in the great big world of sound, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1:26 in the afternoon. I only got one question for everybody listening and all those sandbaggers out there. Do you know where your wiener is? Hey, that's fine, all you cool cats and kittens, if you don't know where it's at. Hopefully you find it one of these days. Yeah, KN4 or IPJ, bored as hell on the lunch break.
That bitch Carol Baskin screwed it all up.
Don't you fucking get me started with that bitch. And I woke up today in the morning and I realized I had to put gas in my van. Then I realized that bitch Carol Baskin.
All you cool cats and kittens, come out.
Oh yeah, I'd like to let everybody know I'm running for presidency, whatever the fuck, 2024, Daniel Exotic for president. The main goal of my presidency is to kill that bitch Carol Baskin.
Before I waste my time here, if I have an external hard drive hooked up to my laptop, can I put apps that I run on the laptop on that external hard drive, or do they need to be on the C drive?
No, you can install them on an external.
Okay, roger. I can install them on an external. Okay, cool.
I would try to keep the same type of naming scheme. So, you have C drive, program files, or whatever. Try to do it on your external drive name, or like letter, whatever it may be, D, E, S, G, whatever. Create something that says program files, and then install it in there.
So create a folder in My Passport on the D file, D drive, and put those in there. Got it.
Roger, Dodger.
for this. Wow.
I know it's you, motherfucker, because I recognize that goddamn Orion. You can't get away from it. I liked Harris, bro, but you beat me, bro. Well, to be clear, it's not Harris. It's first it's General Electric. Then it was Ericsson. Then it was General Electric. Then it was Tyco. Then it was Maycom, and now it's Harris.
Was that you doing the noises too? Yeah, television.
Yeah, it was me. That was me.
Mira, Ronco 2.0. Oye, te tengo I have a care package here to give you. I think it's easier, because I have half of it in cash. Well, I'll talk to you in a bit, because I have to figure out how I'm going to get it to you.
Cash App, dog. Cash App. Cash App. Send it Cash App. Send it Cash App.
Pero los bancos están cerrados. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll probably deposit the cash part. I'll figure it out. I got you.
No rush, man. We're still short anyway. You got 80 to send me, and Daniel gave me 50. We're still short.
I got you. Yeah. You'll get it one way. Oh, my God. Wow. I'll have to pick it up from this guy later today, so we'll get it sooner or later.
Yeah, no rush, man. Manda ahí cuando tú puedas, waiting on the other guys. To see, have you talked to Rolly? You got a guy there that's been hitting me up to program a radio for us. Maybe, I know he comes out quick to make money.
Yeah, same thing. I called him today, but he didn't respond. So I don't know what he's been doing. I haven't heard from him in a while, so I'm actually going to call him right now. See if he picks up.
Ahí buscando billetes, he's making that money. Mario's doing those commercial installs.
That's probably what it is. Let me give him a call. See what's up.
It's been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Oh, yeah. You know, that nigga hiding because when you don't hear him on the radio because he's making money.
Well, can't say I didn't try it.
Está buscando billetes. That's why when you hear him go like he disappears for a while, he's making money.
Yeah, Busa.
Oye, Brian, so ya nada, tú sabes, bro. Get that thing crack-a-lacking ahí. Y a buscar billetes. Yeah, I waited for him to hit me up about that mobile, but looks like he sold it to somebody else.
I don't know what he's been doing. But well, whatever it is, it's his business. I just need him to pick this shit up from my house. Get that over with. Let me call George. See what's up with him. See if I can swing by, pick up the stuff.
Yeah, he said today he was going to do it. Maybe he could convince George to give $100. Can you imagine that? Woo! Get George. I'm surprised George is giving something.
I'm amazed he's not even on. George, you on? Look, está sucking on that city. Let me give him a text.
Don, 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 don. afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Alpha All 4, Juliet Hotel, listening.
Break it down, they take world of sound. You cool cats and kittens, what's up?
Sí, Danielito.
KI4ZYV, what's up, everybody?
Oh, chilling like a villain man out here. Bro, people on the phone están comiendo pinga, bro. Oh my god, this guy almost crashed into me in my fucking van.
You already know what it is and what it ain't.
Streets have gone to shit, bro. Había tráfico en la mañana, hay tráfico ahora, hay hasta tráfico más tarde de pinga, bro.
Ya tú sabes, my nigga, dog. On the county line. Aquí viene el dump a botar más basura. Limpiando. God damn.
Aquí está su papá.
Ah, mira, Line. Oye, viste, Daniel, I've been on the radio and the line hasn't come out, pero as soon as he hears you, bro, he comes out immediately. Fíjate eso.
Shit, I don't know what to tell you on that one. Oh, I don't know.
Check. Wow, I'm at the dump right now, going from the SL300 into the Link.
Solid as a rock, 5 by 5.
I know, that's pretty good.
Coño, qué malo es ser fumado.
Eso nomás que le pasa a Line.
Se fumado y darse cuenta.
Esa fumadera, nada más que le pasa a Line. W4THM.
Ah, mierda.
Sí, pero se queda buen pegada en la bota.
Because you know that I know, that they know, that we know that...
Dile a Cejito que aquí está su papá.
A ver, dale a ver. Cuenta ahí, a ver. Dale, tira. Por tablito. La. Te comí. 7, te comí.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not found.
Comí. What happened, boy? We got that link. What's up?
Yeah, Sergio knows all about that backdoor link when he's doing shootouts.
Oye, olvídate, I had to do this because motherfuckers be waiting for me to be gone.
Sí, cuando hacen un shootout con Cejito, hay que sentarse en el carro al lado de él con un frequency counter.
Oh my God, you're gonna do that? I won that, the thing with the line fair and square. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. You got smoked that day.
I know what Loco said, but okay.
I don't know how they came up with the idea. Fíjate que los come mierda esto, they don't know nothing what they're talking about. It's like, yeah, but I changed the PL tone on the repeater and that's how I won. What does PL tone have to do with RF, you know? Pero bueno, they know. Ellos saben. Yo lo que sé es que Align went over to Blue Thunder's house, okay, para poder poner ahí un 10-element beam y ya tú sabes. Y yo te comí la tapa con un 3 element. Come on.
Huele a mierda.
No, pero there was no qualification that day of how much power we could put out. It was go wrong. Shoot what you got. Come on.
Pero vamos a planificar para ir a la Tortuga a hacer un día expedition.
Bueno, chicos, yo todavía no he llenado mi tarjeta de donante de sangre para the American Mosquito Red Cross.
No, si ahí no hay mosquitos, te equivocaste, papá. Ahí por la noche lo que hay son ratones.
AK4FU. What's going on there, Mr. Frank? KI4ZYV, downtown Miami. Come on.
Hey, if you want a de-expedition, you can apply to the National Park Service for a camping permit at Fort Jefferson, man.
That's what we were just talking about, Frank. Frank has just joined the room. Ding.
No, but Fort Jeff itself, man. And it's a pretty cool place, but you have to take the ferry out there. It's like an hour and a half trip just to get out there.
Why don't we just get on top of a line? A line's a ferry.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
You guys are very homoerotic on this repeater, man. I gotta start watching myself and not bend over in front of you guys.
Oh, man, you're lucky. Aparentemente aquí no le gustan los capos, so you're okay.
Con todo lo viejo, canoso y gordo que yo estoy, Cejito me sigue cayendo atrás. Cuidado, Frank, que le gustan los viejos.
Oye, Alain, ¿de dónde tú sacaste que tú eres canoso, chico? Yo sé que tú tienes ahí el subscription de Hair Club for Men que te mandan el tinte a la casa.
Man, this motherfucker put on a wig.
Pero Cejito le gustan las canas que tengo en el pipi.
Ah, mira, como ya digo, tiene un pipi de niño.
Le gusta el pipi a Sergio, coño.
Oh, hey, don't say that so loud, Ray Vaughn is gonna rape you.